home. We just want to continue winning.
A chance to become back-to-back national champions.
We're not the type of team that overlooks anybody.
A look back at the Gamecocks' magical run and the challenges in the games ahead. Live from Dallas, Texas, a WIS News 10 special. The South Carolina Gamecocks. Chasing a championship. Chasing a Championship is sponsored by the Atkins Law Firm and Lexington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
Good evening, everybody. We are coming to you live from Dallas, where the Gamecocks are chasing yet another championship. Rick Henry, I tell you what, they still have to write the final chapter of this season, but what an incredible storybook, fairy tale, undefeated season it has been.
Judy, it seems like since the beginning of the season, maybe even in the preseason, it was building up to this. Everyone expected the Gamecocks to be here in Dallas, and here they are, just 2 wins away from being back-to-back champs.
That's right. And it's been a busy day here in Dallas as they prepare for tip-off of the big game coming up tomorrow night.
Right, very busy day because the Gamecocks, along with the 3 other teams in this Final Four, practiced and met with the media. Now, we've got the Gamecocks working out on the same court where they won the 2017 National Championship, the first in program history. Friday, when they face the Iowa Hawkeyes, USC will be looking to win title number 3 and go back-to-back as the queens of college hoops. This is South Carolina's 3rd consecutive trip to the Final Four and 5th under head coach Don Staley. This is Iowa's first visit to college basketball's biggest stage in 30 years, so you definitely have to give the edge and big game experience to the Gamecocks.
Absolutely. We know what it takes to get to the championship game, and we're just going to do what we need to do.
I mean, I think it'll help a lot. You know, a lot of people will probably be, probably starstruck about this. It's, you know, the situation, the amount of people. This is probably like one of the biggest stages you can play in women's basketball. And so I think just being here last year and now we're here again this year, I think it'll give us a little bit of an advantage.
Just the way the game has grown so much, and just the interest that people have in it, it's been amazing to see. And for us, it's just like unfolding in front of us. So you just see the numbers going up and interest in women's basketball, and it's amazing. So we're all just very, very happy to be a part of this.
You know, I've been covering the Gamecock women in the Final Four since 2015, and today was the biggest crush of media and photographers in a locker room that I've ever seen. And you know, those locker rooms are tiny, so we were like sardines in there.
Yeah, y'all were packed in there, Rick, but I tell you what, from attendance at the arenas to the TV ratings, the growth in the game, the women's game, can really be attributed to a lot that Coach Staley has done with this program at the University of South Carolina. I sat down with the coach one-on-one to talk about her legacy and her love for the game.
Now that we know what it takes, it's blown my mind. Not just the winning, just the unity, just the relationships that we build with the people in the city and the community and our fans. Like, unimaginable. Like, it wasn't a part of my vision for South Carolina. Winning, obviously, but not how people have come into my life personally. You yourself, Judy, and it's just been like second skin, and it's incredible.
You know, Rick and I were looking at the brackets and made the observation that during the regular season, we've seen a lot of these teams before. How much do you credit the strength of schedule that we've had this season to preparing for this moment?
Yes, a lot of people don't really understand that you have to be really strategic when putting a schedule together. And I probably would have wanted to play an even tougher schedule, but there were some teams that we couldn't just re-up with and continue to do head-to-head, so we had to kind of, we were looking for games in August, and that is unheard of. Like, in August, you're still trying to complete your schedule. So for us to play the Marylands and the UCLAs and the Stanfords and whoever that you may see, and then our conference is doing a great job. LSU gets a chance to compete for a Final Four. We get a chance to compete for a Final Four, and if we end up in the same place, I just think that the strength of our schedule and our conference puts us in a position to always compete for national championships.
What are the lessons that you think that it just immediately come to mind from Mama Staley that you think has helped you connect in such a special way with your players?
I mean, my mother was a truth teller, and she did not hold back from it. If it was on her heart to say, she's not holding it. Even if it hurt her kids, because she loved us enough to hurt us. So we're prepared for anything that we're faced with in this world. And I mean, I'm a praying woman because my mother was a praying mother. I'm a faithful woman because my mother was a faithful woman. And she is the one that sets the example of knowing who's the reason for all seasons. And I know this just doesn't happen to anyone. And it's not just happening to me because, just because. It's happening because God chooses who to favor. And I am his child, and he has favored me and my career for as long as I've known him. And that's pretty special.
What have you enjoyed most about coaching this team?
It's a comfort in knowing that I can just coach. Like I can honestly go in my bag. Like, we have opportunity to play a different way. A different way, and they actually are able to do the things that are in my creative mind when it comes to basketball. Some teams that we've had here in South Carolina, we could only play one way, and that was the way that we needed to play to be successful. Here, there are so many ways that we can play basketball, and they can just do it. A thought can come up. I can say, hey, let's do this, this, and that, and they be like, okay. And they executed it, and they make me look good. They make me look good all the time.
All right, everybody, still to come, more with Coach Staley. And could Aaliyah Boston play another position? Rick's gonna find out. We'll be right back.
They have a great inside presence. I feel like they always have. Both of their bigs are so good. The fact that they bring that size and presence off the bench is kind of unreal. But I think that I'm really lucky to have played in the Big Ten, and even for our journey.
Welcome back to Chasing a Championship, covering the Gamecocks in Dallas. And Rick, these players are locked in, as you like to call them, tournament tough.
Oh yeah, they are. They are tournament tough and tested. Now, we talked to a lot of players today, and they're all enjoying this Final Four experience. And the Carolina seniors, they're looking to add a few more memories to their time wearing the garnet and black. We're going to bring in Julia Westerman, live now with us, also here at Trinity Town, and she talked to 7 USC athletes about their special moments at USC. Julia?
Well, I think the toughest part about this point in the year is you never know when you could be playing your last game. These seniors have at least 1, if not 2 remaining, but their careers as Gamecocks are potentially coming to a close within days. I asked them a tough one this week. What's the one thing you will most remember about this team? And what's the one thing you want this team to remember about you?
Dang, that's a good question. One thing I'm going to remember about this team is how hardworking we are. I've never been around, other than USA, I've never been around a group of girls that bring it every single day. Like it's something on the line. We do it every single day. I'm very resilient, and I really, really take pride in, like I said, working hard and dominating every time I step on the floor. And I'm very loyal to this program, and I'm just so happy to see everything that we've been able to do.
How motherly I am of everybody, and just making sure everybody knows that I'm there for them, and I really care about everybody. But I think one thing that I remember is just how family oriented we are around here, and how much everyone just cares for each other on a deeper level.
The legacy that we've left here. I mean, the journey has just been amazing for all of us. I mean, starting our freshman year, I don't think any of us could have really pictured this, like, picture perfect of a story that we've had during these 4 years. So it's just been amazing to be a part of this. And when I'm older, looking back at them now and just seeing how amazing it all was.
How genuine we all are. There's no, where you're questioning somebody's, happiness for you. So definitely that. And then for me, just, I feel like people would look back and see how, steady I was throughout these 4 years. And, whether it took 3 years for my game to be complete all the way around, I mean, that's what it is.
A team that is so unselfish. From the moment we stepped on campus, it's so hard to have 5 people that are like so bought into the agenda that we have, and is willing to sacrifice anything else. So I think that our sacrifice is something that people should really look at, because it's hard to do that.
How everyone loves each other, it's like genuine love. It's a family atmosphere here, and hopefully what everyone takes away from me is that I brought that too. I think it took me a little bit to get warmed up, but I feel like I'm definitely warmed up with them now. So hopefully they just remember me as like the fun, easygoing person that I am.
Our excitement for each other. I really think that that's something that separates us. I mean, we want to see everyone shine. I mean, sometimes if we think somebody's not playing up to our, we're like, we need you, like you can do this, you can do this. Just our trust in each other, and something I want them to remember about me is just being a great leader, but also being the best dancer. Thank you. I mean, they might not agree, but that's okay.
Well, guys, luckily those dance moves aren't going anywhere. Those are here to stay, but truly just a tight-knit group, and they just want to win. They're going to try and do so 2 more times here in Dallas.
Wow. Impressive indeed, isn't it, Rick?
It is. The Gamecocks, they have so much tournament experience, but this is kind of like some untested waters for the Iowa Hawkeyes. They haven't been to the Final Four since 1993, but they do have the new Naismith and AP National Player of the Year in Caitlin Clark. Now, she's been turning heads all season long. The junior averages over 27 points per game, plus 7 rebounds and 8 assists. She dropped 41 points against Louisville last weekend, only her 3rd highest total this season. Clark will be hard to stop, but South Carolina possesses one of the top defenses in the country. Game also recognizes game. The Hawkeyes know the Gamecocks will be a tough team to beat.
They have a great inside presence. I feel like they always have. Both of their bigs are so good. The fact that they bring that size and presence off the bench is kind of unreal. But I think that I'm really lucky to have played in the Big Ten, and even for our journey on this, playing Georgia, playing Colorado, who also have very big, strong physical posts. It's kind of prepared me the best way it could for this game.
Okay, everyone's talking about the big matchup between Caitlin and Aaliyah. Now,
Right.
They won't be guarding each other, but Boston, she can do it all. Now, she gets it done on both sides of the basketball, offense and defense. She's averaging a double-double in NCAA tournament play. And during the Sweet 16, the senior forward displayed the talents that have some people wondering, hey, could she play another position? Now, it happened in the game against UCLA. Boston took the ball the length of the court against the Bruins. She looked really smooth dribbling the ball up court. So let's see if a position change is in her future. You ever dream of playing point guard?
No, I don't think I will either. I can, because that's a lot. I mean, I think the post is still the hardest position on the floor, where the guards will probably disagree with me. But that's not for me. I'll let them do it. Like I did my little thing. I saw it on Twitter. Everybody was like, big guard. I was like, stop. They're gonna hype me up. I told Keish, you better watch out. I'm gonna do it every possession. Like I'm coming.
One game. You can play point guard. Okay. Tell us what type of point guard you'd be. Who would you style your point guard game out?
Oh my, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I can't do this.
Sure you can.
Oh my gosh. I need to pass.
Oh!
I need to pass. I need to pass. This is hard.
How about a Don Staley type point guard?
Oh, that'd be good. That'd be good. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I see what you did there. But I think I could do that, My passes might not be as fancy because, she do the behind the back and the between. No, I would need to stay with my simple chest pass, bounce pass to make sure the pass gets there. But yeah, I can see that. That was good. Re-ask me again. Hold on, let's do it again.
Okay. You could play point guard for just one game. Who would you style your point guard game after?
This is hard, but I think I would do Coach Staley.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
I know.
Okay.
And you probably weren't expecting me to say that.
No, not at all.
But it's because she has vision, court vision. She's a great leader. She has cool passes, but I wouldn't do that. I'm a simple gal, okay? Like bounce pass, chest pass. But I mean, that's what I think.
Oh, that's great. I never thought of that.
What can I say? What can I say?
All right, we're gonna do a couple.
Gamecock legend Asia Wilson. They've got great games on the court and such big personalities. Aaliyah's going to be a big hit in the pros as well.
She absolutely will. Stay with us, everybody. More of my one-on-one with Coach Dawn Staley up next on Chasing a Championship. Okay. So do you want to say something quick to start, and then I'll just toss to the package?
Yeah, I'll say something real quick.
Just you can say the first part of that if you want to, whatever. Just so you're not just standing there.
I'll set you up real good.
Okay. 30 and break. Good job. Good job.
Welcome back to Chasing a Championship. Judy, we heard from head coach Don Staley earlier in the show. What do you have for us in part 2 of your one-on-one?
Rick, you're going to love this. She talks about the freshies. We've heard so much about them. Now she tells us and she shares her hopes and dreams.
As you compete for this national championship, what is it about each of those freshies, either something that they have taught you or what your prayer is for them as they move forward to the next, whatever is next for each of them?
I obviously pray for their health,
Yeah.
but I pray for them to elevate in areas that when they came here, it was a deficit. Like really, there were things that, you know, for me, for Zaya, like mentally, like Zaya has no issue physically, like, you know, she's going to get in the gym and work out. That is no problem. She checks that off, you know. She's going to think and love up on the game. No problem. But mentally, I wanted her to get to a place where she's strong, like a missed shot or 10 missed shots. That's not going to bother her at all anymore. It used to, you know, for 3 years it bothered her. This year, you see her, she takes whatever shot that she wants to take, whether she misses or not, she makes up for it on the other end. And then now it's just that she's so mentally strong that I look at her and I tell her I love her because, you know, I didn't see her changing like that. I wanted it to happen a little bit sooner, but it happens on their own time. For Aaliyah, like Aaliyah, you know, the sacrifice that she's made this year, people can dominate and not have the stats. And it takes a real basketball enthusiast to really understand her impact on the floor. It may not necessarily be in stats, but it's more of how people are guarding her and what she has to do to even get stats. So for me, it's just she's true to herself. Like, she doesn't care about double-double. She did that. She only wants to win. And she makes the right basketball play time and time again. I think about LA, full of sacrifice, never was a full-time starter, but I know it's going to prepare her for the next level because she may not start for years on the WNBA team, but she's okay. She's okay in the role that she has played for us, that she's going to be all right. Rebuild, confidence is off the chain. Scott is, I mean, it is, I wanted that for her. I wanted her to be okay, being who she is and playing the role that she has to play for us, and then up in the ante on all the other areas, the offensive areas, that it wasn't that we were saying don't shoot it. It was just you got to shoot it. You have to find it in yourself to be confident enough to shoot the basketball. And now look at, she blossomed. And then I can't forget about Olivia. Olivia has, you know, she has played her role to a T. Like, she could have been a freshie that said, oh no, I mean, I'm the only one that's not playing. I'm the only one that, you know, isn't deemed having a significant role. Yeah, she had a significant role she has a significant role on our basketball team. She is the glue. She says all the right things. She's the greatest teammate that this team has ever had and has ever needed. Like, we need her. We need her to be exactly the way she is so we all can function in a place where we're okay serving our team in whatever role that we have.
We're back live in Dallas, and we're getting closer and closer to tip-off between South Carolina and Iowa.
Absolutely. Coach Dawn Staley says, you know, she's the ultimate competitor. She wants this win, but more than for herself, Rick, she wants it for her team.
And, you know, there's this game, USC and Iowa, it has a tremendous subplot. It's going to be South Carolina superstar Aaliyah Boston against Iowa superstar Caitlin Clark. Now, Boston was everyone's Player of the Year last season. She swept all of the major awards. This week, Clark won the Naismith Award and the AP Player of the Year trophies. Aaliyah plays down the Boston versus Clark storyline. She prefers to concentrate between the matchup of the two teams. Carolina's rigorous SEC and non-conference schedules has them tournament tough. Aaliyah knows the Hawkeyes haven't seen a team like her Gamecocks.
We've gone up against some really tremendous teams. Obviously, we know South Carolina is, you know, taller than anybody we've ever played. They haven't lost a game all season, but, you know, we're just going to be us and believe that we can win, and, you know, that's all you can do. And we're going to give it everything we have, and we've enjoyed every second in Dallas, and we want to be playing 2 more basketball games.
I think I've always been that type of player that wants the betterment for the team, and so just like you said, like, my numbers are down, but I mean, I think it's because of what we have going on here. I mean, everyone is stepping up, everyone is hitting shots. I think everything is being carried equally, and it's really good. I mean, if I could do it again, I would.
Now, they won't be guarding each other tomorrow, but it'll be interesting to see how well each of them will play.
Absolutely. Individual awards are nice, but Dawn Staley says the real juice comes from winning a national championship. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, Rick Henry is going to talk fashion trends with the Gamecocks. Welcome back to Chasing a Championship. Rick, in your entire accomplished award-winning career, I don't think you've ever talked to Gamecocks or anyone about fashion trends.
Well, I have, but I haven't talked to them about certain things.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, in addition to having great talent, you know, these Gamecocks have great style. Let's start with head coach Don Staley and her game day outfits, and senior guard Bree Bill, who has become somewhat of a trendsetter. Now, Bill is known for her defense and her team-first attitude, and she also attracts attention because of the long flowing eyelashes she wears during games. What's really amazing, they stay in place from the opening tip to the final buzzer. For the first time in my career, I talked to an athlete about their eyelashes. Hey, Bree, I've had some people ask me, somebody even hit me on Twitter, said, you know, ask her about the eyelashes. And I know when I first saw you, I said, how is she able to play with those eyelashes on? So how do you do it, and why did you start, you know, wearing the eyelashes?
See, when you go into every game, you kind of just pray that they don't get slapped off, you know, mid-game. But I don't know. Every game, I'm surprised they're still on. As aggressive as the teams we play and aggressive as we play. But I just started wearing them because, I mean, it makes me feel good. I feel like if you look good, you feel good, you play good. So that's just kind of really been on my mind, whether it's hair, lashes, whatever the case may be.
I have a coworker a few weeks ago. We're out covering the story, and all of a sudden she reaches into her hair, and one of her eyelashes is in her hair, and she goes, she doesn't know how it got there. Anything similar like that happen to you on the court, off the court?
I mean, there's definitely been some moments where I wake up and lashes are on the pillow, or you're in the bathroom brushing your teeth and one just falls out. So, yeah, there's definitely been some moments like that.
Have you ever thought about, oh, what am I going to do if one comes off, you know, in the middle of the game, you know, just as on the floor?
Yeah, there's definitely been some moments, especially in a, high, intense game where I'm just like, man, what if, like, oh, she fouled me a little bit higher? Like, what if my lashes were just on the floor then? But, I thank God that didn't happen.
All right, that wraps it up for Chasing the Championship. We got a surprise guest.
Yeah, I love y'all. So great to
All right.
Texas.
We're going to continue this live on Facebook. Thanks for watching. Supposed to be on Facebook, so how are we doing Facebook? They said they wanted us to just keep going, so are we on Facebook right now?
Oh.
We're ready if we are.
Okay, well, call somebody and ask. Come on in, Chief. I think we're on Facebook Live, because they said they were going to keep the party going on Facebook and talking to everybody. So about, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, however long we want to go.
Yeah.
So if everybody's on Facebook, we're trying to figure out the logistics. He did, I saw. That was awesome.
Because the first time,
First
time he did it, and I'm looking.
I was like, what's Jeff up to? Getting cool shots over there.
Like, where'd that come
Yes.
from?
So we're going to figure it out if we're on Facebook and
That
chat
was
for a little bit.
Good special.
It was. It was.
Yeah.
Yes. I know. It seems like it. It seems like it. Russ was giving championship cues over there. Appreciate you, bro.
That's the first special where I did not hear anything.
Yeah. I know. What is Jeff
They
doing?
could have been calling me all kind of names.
Oh, he's putting the basketball net.
He used the basketball.
Oh, gotcha.
Hey.
Gotcha.
It was really cool.
They could have
Nice.
said, let's throw it out to that old
You have no idea.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right, are we on Facebook, Russ? You don't know? Trying to find out? All right.
Oh, man.
So we're chatting. Let me check and see what's on. Let me just pull up Facebook. How about that? I don't see anything.
Well, they better pull up something quick or else.
I know, right? Good job, everybody.
We'll shoot some ins and outs.
Then use
For
some,
11.
use some stuff that we already have.
Yep.
I like the
From
way
the
you
special. Like we'll use your piece that in there, so that'll be new.
Yep.
You're out of the show completely, right?
Huh?
You're out of the show now?
Well, there's a show.
Oh, we are live streaming. All right, that's what we were trying to figure out. So we appreciate everybody joining us. We hope you were able to watch the Chasing the Championship special. We're going to talk more about the players. I loved your story on the seniors, and all of your stuff is always great. But we got to not even introduce, but just welcome back. Because, you know, once you're part of Team WIS, you're always part of the WIS family. Chief, it's so good to see you. Oh,
Absolutely.
How are you loving Big Dallas?
Oh, things are going great here in the Big D. You know, it's been good. It's been so nice to see my fam here in town and to see the Gamecocks in town. So, you know, I love my SEC team. So it feels like a lot of love in town right now.
Listen, I turned on the TV this morning. That's why I was late joining y'all for breakfast, because I was watching diminish do the weather. Big D and Big D, right, Rick?
That's right.
Okay, you'll be on in the morning?
I'll be on in the morning, Barry.
Okay,
that's right.
I'll tune in, but I want everyone to know that Dominic has promised to take us out to dinner, treat us to some of Dallas's finest steaks.
That's right.
You know, because he's making that big Texas-sized money now.
Exactly.
So, woo, I worked up an appetite.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Did I agree with that?
You did.
Listen. We're going to work on that. I'm so proud of you sporting your Gamecock gear.
I had to do it. You know, I usually don't, but I had to do it. You know, and like I said, to see so many Gamecock fans here right now and more coming in tonight and tomorrow,
Yes.
I mean, it's just a lot of love in town. So it's nice to sport a little Gamecock pride right now.
It is. Listen, y'all, the special was great. I hope y'all enjoyed it as much as we did. That was so much joy just working on that and highlighting this team. And Julia, I loved your package because, you know, you think about this undefeated year they've had, right? I mean, like a magical fairy tale. I know other teams have had undefeated seasons, but this seems so early in Dawn's tenure and doing it in a way that was so unexpected. Because, you know, a lot of people thought one or two of them would hit that transfer portal, but they didn't. And so now they are more united than ever in trying to achieve this goal of winning another championship.
Well, and just coming up with the idea for that story, it just popped in my head. I was like, hey, that would be a good question to ask them. Like, what legacy do they want to leave on this team, and what are they going to remember about it? And as I was gathering it from them, most of the time I would ask the question, and like we saw from Zaya at the beginning, it was like, I don't really know. Like, I got to think about that. Like, that's a good question. I got to think on that. And then just putting it together and just listening to all of their answers. I tried to include as much as I could from all 7 of them. And the only thing I could think of is just selfless. Like, they are so selfless, and they just want to help their team win. And that's all it is.
They do. And Rick, you talked to Coach Staley today. You saw the teams practice, you know, and experience does come into play. They gave out the awards today. I'm not even going to get into the awards because I think the people who did the AP awards, I don't know what juice they drinking.
Watch it now. Watch it now. Watch it now.
I don't know what juice
Cut it
they
off
drinking.
there. Cut it off. I can see.
You already know where we're going, right?
I can go.
But let me say this. I don't know what juice they drinking. However, it's not about the individual awards. And Dawn talked a lot about that in our interview. Individual awards, obviously, they're nice. They're great. But she says this team, the sacrifices that they have made, the minutes that Aaliyah sacrificed on the court, that probably cost her the player of the year because, you know, her stat sheet doesn't look like the Caitlin Clark or whatever, but that winning this national championship would be the biggest reward for that sacrifice that all of them have made.
Okay, now let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Okay, when the players on the bench who are not starting,
right,
they're not getting all the shine, all the headlines, when they see Aaliyah sacrificing like that, it's like, how can I complain?
Right.
You know, it's like
that's a good point, Rick.
I just have to make the most out of my minutes, and they are so close to an undefeated season and back-to-back national championships. I think now they realize that we pull this off, we'll go down as one of the greatest teams in college basketball history.
On the planet.
Yep.
Man.
I love it.
Isn't it exciting?
It is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of buzz here in Dallas. There's a lot of buzz here in Dallas for the Gamecocks. I mean, just to have, Dawn, she's amazing. Coach Staley is she's a legend. Yes. And so I'm rooting for the Gamecocks all the way.
All the way.
That's right.
Look, and this is a 9 o'clock. Y'all got to rest up on Friday. Get your afternoon nap. Do whatever you got to do because This is a late tip on Friday, Rick.
Right.
And it's going to be, it's going to be a battle out there on the court.
Hey, folks need to drink a lot of Mountain Dew. That's what I'm going to be doing so I can get through this. But I want to give the Menace an opportunity to throw because Georgia Bulldogs won back-to-back championships, and now the Gamecock women are trying to go back-to-back.
Right.
So if you can, just slide a little bit of that grease that way.
Just a little bit of that little dust, little sprinkle on, right?
Oh, hey, she's an Alabama fan.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. There's
I know, right? That's right.
Yeah. I love the SEC. I love the SEC.
Yeah.
So this is good. But yeah, I'm ready for back-to-back for the women's team. I mean, this is great stuff. Like you said, they could go down as one of the best teams ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
They really will. They really will. And it's so great, Julia, because I think it was The Athletic. They've been running all these different polls and everything, right? And you can give everybody more context on it because I won't remember all of it right. But in one poll, Dawn Staley won overwhelmingly. And then in the poll, they asked about a player that
I just saw that.
Aaliyah
Yes.
won. Everybody
I saw
wants
that
to be a Gamecock,
because you
baby.
retweeted it.
Yes.
And so I liked the little follow-up they did. And yes, for some context, The Athletic ran a poll at the regional tournaments asking, the first one was, if you could play for any other coach that is besides your own,
right,
the team that you're currently on, who would you pick of the teams that are in the tournament? And 49 out of 89 answers were for head coach Dawn Staley.
Yeah.
You know what? Other coaches are going, oh, no.
Don't look good for him in the transfer portal, does it, Rick?
But then...
on the recruiting trail.
On the recruiting trail,
But
period.
then The Athletic follows it up, and it comes out today that they also polled all of the same people of, if you could add a teammate from any team in the tournament, who would you add? And Aaliyah Boston.
Aaliyah Boston.
Wow.
Just spectacular. And I mean, I think that's a culture thing because
it is.
You could be on a team that doesn't play South Carolina, may not ever play South Carolina, but you know about South Carolina because of the culture that they are putting on a national stage, international stage. They were talking about that today. People globally know this team.
They do know this team.
Yeah, because, look at the commercials that Dawn Staley is in.
Yeah, the national spot and the squad. They got an Under Armour spot, national spot.
And plus Aja Wilson, big-time spots with some big-time celebrities. You're right. South Carolina is becoming that brand.
It is.
That brand that everyone knows.
You know what? Dawn talked about something else interesting in her news conference today because people were asking about, WNBA prospects for those who, want to take a shot, right? And she explained this whole, notion of sacrifice and finding your place and filling a role, even if it's something different from what you've done before. She says that is a key to success in the WNBA. So she believes she has prepared her players to be able to meet that need for wherever they may land because they might not get all of those minutes. They might come off the bench after being used to being a starter. But she says, and especially Aaliyah, to be a good communicator, to be able to learn things quickly. The pace of the game, it comes at you so fast in the WNBA. So she thinks that they are well positioned to get more Gamecocks into the pros.
Well, the thing is many coaches across all sports find themselves in these programs where they build it up, and then they become the program that is constantly able to turn out league quality players, and they stay there for a long time because of the experience they had in college. And it looks like that's what's happening in South Carolina.
Yeah, when folks get good coaching and also they have some versatility, they can work for a long time in the pros and make a whole lot of money because they can be used in so many ways. And you can see that like one player that Don mentioned, L.A., Letitia Omehir. You look at her game, she could have gone somewhere else and been a megastar, but she can handle the basketball. She's a great passer. She's a ferocious defender and rebounder, and I like to say she has a little nasty in her. Like she comes, she ain't taking no stuff.
Listen, Camilla got a little nasty in her too.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, I love
that video.
Listen, that video when she's doing this and the girl just flops. Camilla's looking at her like, girl, like really? Are we doing that right now? Are we really doing that right now? But Julia, and you're gonna have more on this coming up later. It'll either be tonight or tomorrow. But Rick was talking about L.A. and the fact that she could have gone to another team and been a mega superstar, but in Greenville, when Aaliyah got that MVP award, most valuable player, she gave that to LA. And even with the Naismith National Defensive Player of the Year, she highlighted her teammate Bree Bill. that's the kind of love that this squad has. And that's one of those intangibles that does help you win games in big moments.
And I think it really comes from that longevity of their relationship with each other and the fact that they have been together for 4 years now. And we couldn't squeeze it into the special, but there was a little section on Aaliyah spending that moment in her acceptance speech for Defensive Player of the Year, which was very short. She didn't speak for very long. Over half of it was giving flowers to Bree Beal and saying, hey, our defense wouldn't be the same. I wouldn't be the defender I am without you.
Yeah.
So I think that's big.
All right, Rick, it's time for dinner. So listen,
I'm a little hungry.
Well, first give us. Wait, we're gonna get dinner recommendations from Chief in a minute. But we need you and Julia to give us kind of a recap, a preview of what we're looking for in this matchup between South Carolina and Iowa tomorrow night. And people, you have been writing it. I've been seeing some of the national press saying it's Caitlin Clark against the Gamecocks. I'm like, baby, I mean, I know you can shoot the lights out, but it's going to take more than that to beat the squad.
Yeah, like the USU players, they wouldn't give me the game plan on how
of course not.
How they're going. Yeah, you got to try. You know, how they're going to control Caitlin Clark.
Right.
But the way I see it, you know, they're going to rebuild's going to be on her.
Yeah.
You know, and just put the clamps on her as much as she can. But with her, you also have to worry about her finding those passing lanes and hitting her teammates, because I was watching her in their last game, and I'm going, wow, you know, that was a nice pass.
Yeah.
So what you have to do is cut her off from her teammates and go, okay, y'all are going to have to beat us.
Yeah.
And then also too, there's the difference in the bench. South Carolina's bench average, you know, like I know early in the season, they were almost scoring half the points, and they still continue to score at a high level. And there was one game in the tournament where Iowa's bench produced 5 points. That won't cut it.
No,
that won't cut it.
That won't cut it. Julia, what are you looking for tomorrow to see?
Well, I mean, just building off of what you were saying with the passing, there's a reason that she's gotten so many triple-doubles this year. There's a reason that she racks up those assists, and it's because people don't know how to cut her off. They don't know how to choke her off from the rest of her team. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be very interesting to see what the game plan is and how they attack that from a defensive standpoint, and just see what they can do, because you can't cut Caitlin Clark off from shooting. She's going to get open and she's going to put the ball in. But
she's going to shoot from
you
the
gotta,
logo. I mean,
she might be on the other end. She might shoot from back in Iowa. But, you know, what it's going to boil down to is what they can do elsewhere to...
Former Gamecock. Come over here.
Oh, my gosh. Come
over here.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
No, you don't stay.
Chief, don't you go nowhere? No.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you?
Hey, we're on
it's
Facebook
so great to see
Live.
you.
How are you? Good to see you.
Yeah,
Lakeisha Sutton, say hello to all the people back in South Carolina.
How's it going, Gamecock Nation?
So you're out here in Dallas, right?
I am, yes. First time at the Final Four.
Wow.
Very proud.
It is exciting to watch, isn't it?
Yes. I mean, it's a vision that Coach Staley had in 2008, so it's just cool to see it all come to fruition. And just her speech about community service, sacrifice, winning, it was the exact same in 2008, so it's cool to see like our logos everywhere. I love it.
Yeah, so you were on that first team, right?
Yeah.
Don Staley's first team. What do you think now when you look at what this program has become? I mean, every year we just expect they'll be going to the Final Four, and they just become the program. I mean, that has to give you a sense of pride.
Again, just very proud, also very honored, right? Like, she could literally choose whoever she wants. Like, even back then, she could have chose anybody. But to give, you know, someone like myself from Trenton, New Jersey, an opportunity to be a part of something greater is, like, I can't even put it into words. And people see me, they're like, do you play at South Carolina? I'm like, I did. Yeah. And they're like, oh, I remember. You were, like, in the beginning, the, like, foundation. So that's humbling. So, but again, I'm proud of the whole program, the whole entire state. I've loved it, watching it.
Okay, well, let me ask you your expert opinion. How would you defend Caitlin Clark?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't let her touch the ball, but that was the role that I took on for South Carolina. Like, I always guard the other team's best players. So, I mean, she's a great player. Great players are going to score, but it's just how she's going to get her points tomorrow.
That's really impressive. You know, when we think about this team, you know, and they make winning look so easy, right? But it takes so much discipline. And one of Dawn's favorite sayings, a disciplined person can do anything.
Judy, it's the same thing, yes.
It's the same thing, right?
But it's so true.
It's so true, isn't it?
It is. That was one of her mantras, like, early on, and I literally carry that. You know, I'm a coach now, so my kids are like, discipline, what? I'm like, no, it works. You just got to follow it and trust the process, because I know in my first 4 years, a lot of people came, but they left. They thought like, it was too hard. They didn't see the vision, but I'm proud that I was able to graduate from South Carolina. And just so, Gamecock Nation is everywhere I go. I'm like, yup, Gamecock. And I just love the sense of pride that everyone has wearing the Gamecock gear. I'm even talking about all the players, not just Aaliyah Boston. They know literally everyone on the team, and that's credit to you guys, doing the news coverage. So that's awesome.
So tell the folks where you're coaching.
I'm coaching at the George School in Newtown, Pennsylvania. It's a boarding school, so any kid that wants to be coached and taught how to play the right way, come see me.
The right way is the key part of that. Don't miss that part, right? The right way.
Yep.
Absolutely. And that's the other thing Dawn said about this particular team, and I think that's what makes her such a great coach, that as each squad changes, from year to year with the additions and, new recruits coming in, she's able to meet them where they are, right? And she said with this team, what she's enjoyed coaching about them so much is she can just get creative with her basketball mind. And she says literally, in the middle of a game, if she can come up with something, she can talk to them about it in the huddle, and they can go out and execute.
They're gonna do whatever she says, whatever she draws up, because they're that they're like this, and nothing on the outside could pull them apart. Not social media, not stats, not NILs. It's just they're literally committed to whatever Coach Staley say. Okay. Really, the whole coaching staff.
Okay, I got to ask you, like when you're coaching your team, do you find yourself at times going, you know what? I sound like Don Staley.
No, so I'm only in my second year, but literally everyone's like, you just like her, like the way we pace. We just kind of get this look like, and then we know how to turn up to the reps, but it's always been about the players. So I'm very honored, very humbled that she gave me an opportunity, and everywhere I go, they're like, Don Staley, South Carolina. I'm like, yes. So I'm appreciative, very appreciative.
What about for this generation of college athlete, because you mentioned NIL, just with that, but it has literally changed the game for them.
Big time.
And, Coach Staley would say, because early on, she wouldn't let y'all get on social media.
I was just telling my friends, I'm
Remember?
like, we couldn't have social media, we couldn't have different colored shoes.
No, you couldn't do none of that.
We couldn't wear our hair, like, it was very, like, she was preparing us for being a professional.
Exactly.
And it's changed. So.
But the rules of the game has changed, and that's what she says, the young kids now, they're on social media, and so that's where you kind of have to meet them. And
I love seeing her doing TikTok.
And I know.
I love it, but that was her back then, but she was very, just shy and, reserved.
Exactly. Now she's dancing on TikTok and all of that.
I said she got rhythm now.
I know, but she made a great point, because she said the way that she had to regulate social media back then, now she says NIL regulates it, because they have a brand to protect. They have an image to protect. And you're not going to pull down that NIL bag if you on TikTok and Twitter showing out, right?
Yes. But that's the professional, she's literally done everything, male or female, that wants to play basketball has accomplished. So why would you not listen to her? Why would you not follow and just follow her leadership? But it's not just her; it's her entire staff. Iron sharpens iron. So I'm excited to see it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you mentioned something about Coach Staley being shy and reserved, like when she first came here, right?
Y'all helped her come out of all of that.
And what do you think about it now? Especially you look at her press conferences, commercials, and I used to tell people, I said, when she was first here, she's kind of shy, and people just don't.
And she was misunderstood as well.
Yeah.
I can relate, because I'm from Trenton, New Jersey. She's from Philly. We're both from the project. So it's like when I got to South Carolina, I was quiet. My teammates like, are you leaving? Are you staying? I was like, I'm here, but I'm just not from the South. So it's a culture shock, but I'm just like, I love to see her dancing and touching baby. She was doing that a long time ago, but you guys have really made South Carolina her second home. So I'm here for all of it.
Yeah, we're here for it too, girl. We are here for it too.
It's bigger than
It's
basketball
amazing.
with her too.
Yeah,
I gotta
absolutely.
ask real quick. So someone asked Aaliyah today what her best impression of Dawn Staley would be, and when you said, "Can I get a piece of paper?" Was that alluding to how she
that's
rolls up
her.
the paper? Because that is
I don't even have no
exactly
paper.
what Aaliyah Boston said. She said, "Does anybody have a piece of paper?"
I don't have any paper, but no, it's just like that little. Then she's gonna write something and she's gonna erase it and be like, "We gotta fight." That's it.
That's it.
And her favorite thing is like, "Don't be denied." That's it.
Yes.
So I mean, it's bigger than basketball with Coach Staley.
It is.
It's just I wish. I'm happy that people are getting to see her, because she was misunderstood. Like, she's quiet. Philly, I'm like, no, she's just taking it all in. She's very humble.
And she's very intentional.
Humble. Yes.
She's very intentional.
Very intentional.
Yeah.
I'm here for
And
it.
I saw a lot of Coach Staley in you when you were playing for, because you were kind of quiet, reserved, but you were tough out on that court.
Thank you.
And you were tough.
I'm not laughing. I'm like,
yeah,
you want me to guard Maya Moore? Okay, I got you. Who you want me to guard?
Yeah.
But no, it's just it's her preparation, like the discipline part, right? So even to be able to watch the open practice, I'm like, these are the same drills. I'm like, this is amazing to see. But the teams that we had to play against, those tall Kentuckys and Tennessees, like now that's us.
That's us.
And I love it. And I don't feel bad for anybody.
I don't either.
So
I don't either. It's our time to shine.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yes.
Okay, I got to ask you too, because you and I communicated on Twitter earlier this week.
And I was like, I hope to see you in Dallas.
Yeah, and I said I hope to see you too. And I know you. I said you going to the game. You said you didn't have a ticket. You got a ticket yet?
I do. They put me on alumni list.
Yay! All right. All right, because I was going to reach out to Gamecock Nation and say.
I mean, even if I did, I would have bought it. It's to support women's basketball.
Yeah.
The game has done so much for me personally. The state of South Carolina, so I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's the other thing. The Gamecock bond is strong. I mean, I have no doubt Sheila Foster will be here. She was up in Greenville. Remember when we were in Tampa covering the Final Four, and somebody was like making all this noise at the hotel, and they were dancing.
My room.
The roof. It was Sheila Foster. We were like, she was singing Bruno Mars songs and everything.
They were singing Bruno Mars.
Oh my God.
But hey, you know how I found out?
She had the rap.
Yes.
Love
Yes.
You know how I found out that it was them?
How?
She and her friends were out there talking about it, right? I said, that was you outside my hotel room.
I know, waking us up early.
Just getting, Chief getting all turned up.
Yes.
In the morning.
In the morning,
yes. Like walking in, my friends, they're like, everyone keep looking at you. I was like, I haven't been to South Carolina in years. They don't know who I am. And it was like, is that? And they're like, yup, that's her.
That's her.
So,
yeah.
But the point of it is like, you guys created something very special. And like no one can take that away. It's not about what player come, what player leave. It's like you guys, the fans, really created that sixth man. So I'm proud. I'm from Jersey, but I'm repping South Carolina.
We love it.
Everywhere.
Hey, just like Judy she's from Georgia, but she's a Carolina girl now. You're a Carolina girl.
Yeah. I'll take it. I actually have Forever to Thee tatted on my knee. I don't know if you remember, but I had the knee issues my senior year. So. But, overcoming adversity, like, it was easy to leave or sit out. But I was like, whatever you say, Coach Staley, I'm going to do it. Whatever you want, I'm going to do it. So I take pride in telling people, like, you got to stick it out. You can't just keep jumping around because you hit a little bit of adversity,
Absolutely.
So.
Can I just tell you that even just in this brief conversation that we've had, the kids that you coach are so lucky to have.
Can you tell them that again?
Listen, I'm serious. I just, on my spirit right now, I try to have an obedient spirit, so I'm just telling you, they are so lucky and so blessed to have you in their lives, to ground them and to let them know that their dreams are a possibility.
It's possible.
And that hard work pays off.
It does. You have to listen.
Yes.
You have to listen.
Yes.
Listen.
Trust the process. Trust the vision.
I'm very excited. I just want to say this publicly. If there's ever a biopic of Coach Staley, I shouldn't have to audition. I'm gonna just say that. So help me out, Gamecock Nation.
Help you out, baby.
We got the same background, same everything, same needs, same.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Help me out there.
That's awesome.
Thank
you so much. It's so great to see you. So great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you. See you guys
Appreciate
tomorrow.
it. Yes. 9 o'clock.
Right.
It's gonna be on, girl. It's gonna be on. It's gonna be
all
on.
right. Bye, Lakeisha.
See all the extra stuff y'all get on Facebook Live. Y'all don't even know. Everybody's tuning to TV.
That's a good ending point.
It really is. It really is.
We can't go up from there.
So I know. So you told us that you love in Dallas. We're gonna end with Big D and D. What do you miss about South Carolina, though?
Southern cooking, the hospitality, the SEC country, being a little closer to my family in Georgia. You guys at WIS.
I was waiting on that part. I was waiting on that part.
Okay.
We miss you too. We miss you too.
Okay,
right.
I was waiting for him to say Mike B. Peaches. Throw that in there too now. Yeah.
I can't get any of those here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to
see there?
Special delivery.
Texas got a lot. They ain't got those.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us on Facebook Live. Keep it tuned to WIS News 10. We got our crew here. We got you covered for the best coverage. Chasing a championship, covering the Gamecocks in the women's Final Four. We'll see you tonight on WIS TV and all day tomorrow.